All right, let's get this show on the road. Make sure everything's working here before I get too crazy here. Checking the stream. Audio levels look good. Fantastic. Maybe a little bit high. Let's come down a little bit. If you're just tuning in this after the fact, just fast forward through the first little bit. Does anyone say fast forward anymore, by the way? Okay, I see people saying hi. We sound good? We look good? Okay, we don't look good, but we sound good. I guess I was trying to figure out the best way to start this video, and I think the best way to do this is to say, if you are under 13 years old, you need to leave. You're no longer invited to my videos. I don't want you to be a part of my community anymore. Dead to me. I'm just kidding, of course. You're more than welcome to join my videos and my streams. I'm happy to have you guys, and I think that the younger audience is a very valuable part of YouTube. And I think that's something that YouTube is going to learn the hard way here coming up, because this week, as many of you probably know, this was not a good news week for YouTube. It started off the week with YouTube getting hit with a massive fine. The Federal Trade Commission hit YouTube with a $170 million fine because they violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which, if you're like me, prior to this week, you didn't even know that that existed, but apparently it does. And what YouTube was doing was they were selling kids' data without their parents' consent, essentially meaning that kids were getting on YouTube, watching YouTube videos as kids tend to do. And YouTube was selling that information to advertisers so they could run ads on the platform, which kind of makes sense. But unfortunately, the government doesn't feel that way. The Federal Trade Commission feels that maybe kids that are young shouldn't have advertising thrown at them that way. And YouTube has complied. They're paying $170 million. But just like what YouTube does, anytime YouTube does anything that is bad for them, the real burden ends up falling on the creators, and that's exactly what's going to happen. In fact, this is probably the worst thing that's going to happen to creators in the history of YouTube. In fact, it's also going to be one of the worst things that's going to happen to you as a viewer on YouTube, especially if you're a younger kid or if you're a person that likes watching content that may be made for kids involving what were the things. I think I'm actually going to read this to you here. This is from YouTube's blog, and I'll try to link this down below after the stream here. It starts here. New data practices for children's content on YouTube. This is where it's going to affect me and you. And I know a lot of you guys are in the chat right now. Just sit tight on this one. This is going to be one where I'm going to talk for a while, but at the end of this, I'm going to open this up, and I'd love to have a discussion about this because that is the reason to do this live. Otherwise, I would just make this a regular video because this is something that I've been thinking about for several days because it's going to most likely heavily impact me. And like I said, impact you as well. And a lot of other creators, whether you're making videos like Ryan's toy review, which is I think what a lot of this is tailored towards, not singling him out, but he's just like the biggest person. And a lot of other kids channels, the ones, what I'm talking about when I say kids channels. And it could even go into the gaming space like Minecraft, Roblox. I see a lot of people in Roblox are upset about this whole thing. Lego could be affected, but let me read this and then it'll make a little more sense to you and we can go from there. So I'm going to the YouTube's official blog, and this says, new data practices for children's content on YouTube. Welcome to Redetect. It says, we are changing how we treat data for children's content on YouTube. Starting in about 4 months, which will be January, we will treat data from anyone watching children's content on YouTube as coming from a child, regardless of the age of the user. This means that we will limit data collection and use on videos made for kids only to what is needed to support the operation of the service, which sounds great, right? Like they're no longer going to be hitting these little kids with ads that are making them go out and buy all these things. Okay, that's cool. But here's where things get bad for creators, and also it's going to trickle down to everybody. It says we also stop serving personalized ads on this content entirely, which is essentially what YouTube is run off of. When you watch an ad before a video, in the middle of a video, anywhere in a video, that is most likely a personalized ad. A personalized ad is one that runs where someone has been doing something, like say you love car videos, for example. You're very likely to see an auto parts ad or something like that. YouTube knows what you're watching, what you enjoy, what you're most likely going to buy, and that's the advertisers that flock to that. And it makes sense. If I had a business where I want to run ads, I'd be like, okay, who's watching awesome Lego videos? Those are the guys that I want to advertise to. Just kidding, of course. But they're going to stop serving those ads, which means that if you love, say you love Ryan's toy review, I'm using him as an example because I think he makes a good punching bag. There's no longer going to be ads on Ryan's toy review. And luckily for him, he's a giant channel and he has other avenues for income. But a lot of mid-size and smaller YouTube creators that do this for a living, like myself, AdSense is it. So there's no longer going to be personalized ads in that content. Now, where this is going to affect you as a viewer, some features will no longer be available in this type of content, like comments and notifications. The like and dislike buttons also going away. So essentially, it's going to be a situation where you go to watch a video And it's just going to be you watching the video. There's nobody to interact with. There's no comments. There's no likes. I believe they're not even going to show the subscription count on there, but I don't know if that's true or not. Where did I leave off here? In order to identify content made for kids, this is where things get really tricky and probably what most of this conversation today is going to revolve around. Creators will be required to tell us when their content falls into this category, and we'll also use machine learning, which is the scary part, to find videos that clearly target young audiences. For example, here you go. This is, if you're going to listen to anything on this entire stream, this is it. For example, those that have an emphasis on kids' characters, themes, toys, or games. So that right there kind of leads me to believe that the Lego space may be sunk. It's definitely not going to be a good day for us as creators, especially people that do toy stuff. I guess I can explain a little bit of what I do, and I'm going to be coming over here just to make sure everything's looking good. I do Lego videos, obviously. So for me, it's questionable. I don't necessarily target kids, and my content's not like, hey, kid, you know, like you guys know what we're talking about here. I'm not going to talk about Ryan anymore. It's not that, but I do feature toys on my channel. I feature Lego stuff, which is intended for what ages, what is this, 7+. So that could be a problem. And a lot of other YouTube creators could feel the same way in the Lego space, but this goes far beyond the Lego space. There you go. Spider-Man and Elsa. There's another place that we can attack. That's the kind of stuff they're trying to crack down on. But this is in YouTube's fashion. When they see the iceberg ahead, they don't go around it. They go right through it. And the creators are the ones that are in the icy water. And that's where we're going to be. So if you do toys, say even it's for adult stuff, like I've seen videos where dudes do like serious action figures that only adults are collecting, like $100, $200, maybe more action figures. Is that a toy channel, or is that intended for kids? Probably not. Clark and I love doing RC videos these days, RC trucks and stuff. Is that made for kids? Maybe, maybe not. Here's an example from my life, and I know another gentleman that does this as well. I make Thomas videos, which I would say 100% falls under this, and I would be willing to fall on that grenade. Thomas videos where I'm showing a Thomas train or track or going to Thomas land, 100% tailored to kids, right? There's no question about that. I will be happily mark those videos as intended for kids. Will I stop doing them? No, because I do that stuff anyway, and I like making videos about it. My purpose is to record my life and our activities in it, and right now that happens to be kind of some kid stuff. Will it be in the future? Probably not, as Clark gets older, not because of these changes. But there's going to be other creators, and this is where it's going to affect you. There's going to be creators, especially if like Lego's affected. I know a lot of you guys are Lego people. If these big Lego channels that are doing this full time, much like myself, if they're not making money from their videos, like these personalized ads when they go away, and you get these new things, the videos are still going to be monetized. It's going to be called context ads, which is what you see on like television. It's just a general ad that plays. But most advertisers, they don't want that, like we were talking about earlier. And maybe there won't be any context ads to run. There's going to be fewer. They're going to pay less. So your channel that you used to make a living from, you may not be able to make any money from it anymore, or very little money. So a lot of these channels are going to go under. These big full-time, whatever you do, could potentially go under, which means that it's going to hurt us as a Lego community. You may not have those big Lego channels out there anymore, because why are you going to spend full-time hours making content that you can't make money off of? That's the whole purpose of AdSense, in my opinion. It's not to get rich on YouTube. It's to do something that you love and you're passionate about and get paid for doing that, so you can continue to do it and hopefully make it better through growing your channel and having an income that way. So it could be the end of Lego. It could not affect Lego at all. In the end, like I mentioned, a lot of this is going to come down to you as a creator coming up with whether your content is created for kids or not. My Lego stuff, it's debatable. I would say that it doesn't fall necessarily under the kids category, but I imagine there's a lot of kids watching it. And that's where the machine learning is going to come through. The AI, if you will, Skynet, if you watch Terminator, you know what I'm talking about. It's going to come through and it's going to make decisions for you after you make your decision. Like say I say, you know what? No kids watch my stuff. This is not for kids whatsoever. YouTube and the artificial intelligence might come along, or machine learning as they're calling it. I don't think they like to use the word artificial intelligence at all, but be clear, that's what it is. They may watch your video, just like the demonetization thing that we always joke about. They may watch your video and be like, yeah, this is for kids. And then your ads are gone. Your comments are gone. Your notifications are gone. And all of that sucks. Like I have Greg's World right now that doesn't have comments. And I'll tell you what, it's very different making videos on Brickitect than it is Greg's World. Just that alone. Let's take the money out of the equation. when I make videos on Brickitect, I feel like I'm having a conversation with you. I'm talking to you, we're making videos back and forth, or not back and forth, but like things I say you're reacting to, and I react to the things you say in past comments, and it becomes like this conversation that we have. That's the best way that I can put it. Greg's World, it feels very much like I'm just making videos that go out to the world. People watch them. I do see some likes on it, but that's it. There's nothing that goes back and forth, which is why I may be starting a new channel in the future, because I don't think my comments are coming back in there. But that's beside the point. You don't care about that. You want to know how this affects you. And I think the biggest question is, and the thing we're not going to know until January, is how severe is this going to be? How hard is this going to hit? Is your Lego news video intended for kids? I would say my Duplo video I made the other day, probably intended for kids, being that it's like a 4 and under thing. But like I held up this Lego set earlier. It says 7 and up. That probably means that 7-year-olds are buying this set, and maybe Lego isn't the thing anymore. You don't have to worry, though, about me. I'm going to continue making Brickitect videos. I love making these. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't passionate about it. But it may go from being something that supports me and the fact that I can buy sets and sharing with you to like, hey, we might be digging into the backlog a little bit deeper than we've ever dug before, which could be a good thing. But I joke about this, but this is very serious, guys. This is, again, like I said earlier in this video, this is 100% the biggest thing that's going to impact YouTube creators and also you as a viewer. I've been trying to follow this as much as I can, and I watched a video from a dude that does Roblox, which is very much like Lego. You have a younger audience, most likely. Whether he considers his content to be made specifically for kids is another story, and I could take that into the other part of this that I want to talk about. And again, if you guys are in the chat, we're going to be opening this up to discussion in a little bit. We're going to go back and forth on this heavily, being that we're only 11 minutes in, and I feel like it's gone a lot longer than that. Greg's World. Where does Greg's World stand? I'm more afraid about Brickitect than I am Greg's World, although Greg's World is the primary place where I get my income. Greg's World is a question mark. It's a family vlog channel, which there's a lot of those out there. And I know these people are afraid, just like I am, because I make a video. This whole Greg's World is about my life, and I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed there, but a lot of you probably are. Greg's World is about my life. Right now, I'm in the chapter where Clark has come along, and I'm reliving my childhood through a lot of stuff that we're doing together. Me sharing my day with my son, is that intended for kids? I make these videos for myself, and I put them out to the world, and a lot of people watch them. A lot of them tend to be kids, though. I'm sure of it. Because kids have time. Kids have their parents' iPad, which is the whole problem here. Kids are supposed to be on YouTube Kids. And that's also another issue. But they're not, and they're not going to be. Does making a vlog of my day that has Clark in it, just being Clark, does that make it for kids? That's what the artificial intelligence is going to tell us. And I'll find out in 4 months whether my channel makes any money and whether it doesn't. Will I lose half of my income? Will I lose 80% of my income? Will I lose all of my income? Will I lose none of my income? And all this, you're going to be like, Greg, remember 4 months ago you thought the sky was falling? That was a little dramatic, but I've been thinking about this for 4 days, and I just feel like this is a video that needs to be made, and I wish there were more videos out there like this, honestly. I've been scouring YouTube, like looking for the keyword YouTube changes and things like that. Not a lot of people are talking about it. I'd love to see one of these kids channels talk about it, like a legit kid channel, like that does toys and stuff. Like Clark loves a channel, and I have nothing against this channel, but they're going to be hit with this. There's a channel called Izzy's Toy Time, and if you love like trains and Thomas and stuff like that, it's a wholesome channel. It's just a mom and dad and their kid, and they love to play with toys. They're going to get destroyed by this because very much that's what they do. But then you have other people like Trains Are Fun, who Clark also likes and I like. He does Thomas videos, which you would say, okay, for kids, makes sense. But then you do a model railroad video that's probably purchased by people that are 50 and above. No offense to anyone out there. Is that made for kids? It's a toy, though. And when they use those words are so painful that they use in here. The words kids characters, which Thomas falls under, themes, toys, games. And does that mean video games? Is Minecraft no longer going to be monetized on YouTube? It's hard to say. But what I know is going to come from this is the death of a lot of creators and people either coming up with alternate sources of income like Patreon, which makes sense, or you go to another platform. Like these gamers obviously have an option to go to Twitch or something. But what this is going to hurt ultimately are the kids of YouTube, like the kids like Clarkman that love the wholesome Izzy's Toy Time content that I was just talking about. That's not going to exist anymore. All you're going to be left with are people that are trying to be adult. Like I'm going to start my videos. I joked about this. I may have to do it. I'm going to start my videos by I'm just going to drop an F-bomb. I'm going to shoot off a gun and drink a beer at the same time. That's how all my videos are going to start. I think it could work. And then it's going to go right from that into a Thomas the Train video. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know. It might not come down to any of that, but I think that'd be kind of funny. But how's Brickitect going to be impacted? If the whole Lego space is doomed, so be it. I'll still make videos. If the ones that get flagged, like I was talking about earlier, if it's like having a kid in your video or kind of playing around with the Lego sets, I might have to change things up a little bit. Maybe Clark won't be able to be in as many videos, which hurts me to the soul because that is the whole purpose of what I'm doing here on both of my channels. It's documenting my life. How is my life hurting other people? Apparently it is. But in the end, let's just be clear about this. Ben Brick says, just me drinking coffee. Yes. Let's be clear about this. The reason that we're all going to be hurt by this is 100% because YouTube messed up. 100%. They did something illegal, and now we are all going to pay the penalty for this. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, you had the whole situation before about pedophiles being on YouTube, so they disabled comments. You had the situation about getting your stuff demonetized, so everyone was trying not to make like aggressive and violent videos. You couldn't make gun videos anymore. And now you can't make videos that are for kids, so all you're going to have is this little midsection here of 35-year-old dudes like me. Wait, I'm not 35 yet. Almost. Drinking coffee. Making videos about drinking coffee. I don't know. But I know Greg's World will survive. And the good news about this, and before we get into the comments here, which I will be doing, so queue up your comments and your questions and discussion here. I know Greg's World will survive, and it's because this is not on a channel basis. Like your whole channel isn't going to be like, kids channel, stamped, done. It's not going to happen. It's going to be on a video by video basis. YouTube did say that if you mislabel your videos, there could be consequences to that. Does that mean your channel is going to be taken down? I don't know. Can you make 3 mistakes? I don't know. Are you just going to have to err on the side of caution and say all your videos are for kids? I don't know. We're all going to find this out in January, and I'll bring you guys along with me on that. If there's one thing that I feel that I am on this platform, and I think a lot of people appreciate me for, is my authenticity and transparency. And I'm going to bring you along with everything that I know. I did have one conversation with my YouTube rep guy. He didn't really tell me anything outside of what was written in the blog article. It was me just kind of like asking him. I am going to know here in a little bit how my channel looks like it's going to be affected, but I can adapt. Luckily, like not every one of my videos needs to be a Thomas the Train video, but I love doing that stuff, so I'll continue doing it. If it's not monetized, it's not. A lot of my videos, like what is a video where you go shopping with your kid at the grocery store? I've done videos like that. Is that a kid's thing? I don't know. The other bummer is they are going to make you go through your entire library of videos to determine that. I've got like 3,000 or 4,000 videos online. I don't have the time to go through and select each one and ask if it's kid appropriate or not, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with there. Let's open this up. Thank you guys for making it through that. That was 18 minutes of me going off on this, but I feel pretty good about what I laid out there. I don't think there's anything else that I want to add to it. That's all that's happening right now. Will Greg's World and Brickitect be sunk? Stay tuned to find out. Will there no longer be any like professional Lego people? Stay tuned to find out. Maybe it'll just be hobby people that do this for like what maybe the real reason, which should be the joy of making it. Maybe it shouldn't be all about the money, but it's going to be the number one thing that affects a lot of these people. BFAB says Patreon might be where it's at, and I've thought about that. And I'd hate to see this come down to this, but what it might come down to, if Greg's World is completely demonetized or Brickitect's completely demonetized, I might just have to open it up and do a Patreon thing. It's like, guys, the videos, I'm not making any money at this. You guys know I do this for a living. I'd like to continue doing it for a living. So if you do like to see our content or appreciate our content, join us on Patreon where all the videos will be uploaded. I could do like trailers, like little short clips on YouTube as basically a way to pitch it to Patreon. I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. I think you're going to see a lot of channels try to make this shift away from relying on YouTube. In fact, there's one that I watched that I thought handled it excellently, and his audience responded really well. It was this dude that did art videos for kids from 0 to 18, I suppose. And obviously his channel is going to be destroyed. So what he's going to do, or what he has started doing, is he's making a membership site on his channel where you can join for so much per month, almost like a Patreon. And that's where his art lessons are going to be. And it's really sad because the people in the audience weren't like, dude, you're a jerk for doing this. I can't believe you're charging us for your content. They were like, I really want to support you, but I'm a kindergarten teacher and I don't have the money to do it. So that really makes me sad. But a lot of people are like, I'm coming over, I'm going to do it. I don't think the guy's probably going to make what he's making on YouTube, but at least it's an option. And I think people, as time goes by here, especially once we roll around for January, I think people are going to realize that that's just going to be the inevitable way that it is. And I don't think people are going to be as nasty about putting things on Patreon as historically they've been. Most people don't like that. Is there a Greg's World Patreon? There is a Greg's World Patreon. I haven't done much with it. I do have 2 patrons there. But it might be a similar situation there. What I may have to do is put my coffee drinking, even though I don't drink coffee, videos up. But then if there's like this epic Clark video, I might be like, it's on Patreon. And that sucks. I don't want to do that. Like, I love the idea of my stuff being out there. I love the fact that kids are watching my stuff. At least I feel proud of my content, like that kids are watching it and I'm not trying to swindle them with something. I'm not going to use any names, but I watched a certain toy creators video a long time ago, which really set me over the edge on this. And him and his dad, they were riding their bike in the park, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is really nice. And then at the end, it turns out that bike happens to be his branded bike, his branded bike that is available at walmart.com. That's the kind of crap they need. Oh. At least you know if I'm riding my bike with Clark, it's because I want to ride on the bike with Clark and we're having a good time. I'm really loving the RC videos at this point though, guys. Like I may be as passionate about RC stuff as Lego. Like I'm just having such a blast with it. If YouTube determines that's for kids, it might be a Greg's RC Patreon coming where I'm just doing nothing but racing RC stuff because I just love it so much. M&R says channel memberships like Twitch's subscriptions need to be enabled on all channels that meet the requirements. Much agreed. Much agreed. BFab says you might need to promote your merch more and raise the price. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's all these options out there, like Brickitect Live. Does Brickitect Live need to move to Twitch? Me and Ryan, I forget his name. Ryan will have to remind me of this, but there was the guy that built Lego stuff on Twitch. Maybe that's an option to go to Twitch. I think, and I talked to Ryan about this, I think diversifying your online status is never a bad thing. Whether it's creating a Patreon, making a t-shirt that says YouTube changes suck, and then putting that on Teespring, or going to Mixer or Twitch or whatever you need to do, having all your eggs in one basket, is that the phrase? Yes. Having all your eggs in one basket on YouTube and relying on AdSense is a dangerous thing, and I've always said that. I've always said that I've appreciated for what it is, and this could all end tomorrow, and maybe in 4 months it is. But I've had an amazing run along the way. I've loved every minute of this, and I fully anticipated this happening someday, but I thought it'd be more of a thing like people just get bored with me and my content and they're like move on to greener pastures. I didn't think it'd be a thing where YouTube's like, you are making videos that are way too appropriate for kids. You're gone. Sorry guys, there's my rant. Greg Drinks Water, episode 264. Keep on Legoing. Tune in, man. If you would watch me drink water, I think we can make a run at doing this for a living. I would be really offended if I made a video where I do nothing but drink water and it ended up being more successful than what I'm doing now. I would be so... You hear about these channels where people like eat ramen noodles and slurp them up and stuff and they've got 1 million subscribers. It's like, okay, let's do this. I need a beer. Yeah, I do need a beer in all my videos so I get the kids out. I thought about age restricting my videos, but then it turns out that is not a good thing on YouTube. They do not like that. I'd be like, dude, my video is for 18 and up. No kids allowed. I'm just going to start a video just flipping the middle finger and shooting off a shotgun or something. That's my plan. Greg's Mukbang, yes. Pico's Lego channel says, do you think you could find some sponsors and add their ads to the videos before the video starts? Hot Wheels, hit me up. Traxxas, hit me up. Thomas and friends, leave me alone because that's a character that I can't do anything with anymore. Thomas videos are going to disappear from YouTube. I would watch you drink water just because I watch everything you do. Dude, thank you so much. And I'm hoping that's the case because Like I said, I may be starting a new Greg's World. I don't know what the name of it's going to be because I want those comments back. And if it's the good chance that I'm not going to have those, I might just be putting all my new content over on the new channel. We're going to wait until January to see how things fly. But I'm going to tell you guys, if you want to see what we're doing, I'm hoping that some people come over. And we're going to start from scratch, but just the way it is. And that makes me super sad because I really feel like Greg's World is my life's work, or was intended to be my life's work. I started that channel in 2011. I've documented everything in my life for the last 8 years. And I really thought that someday I would die and I would have someone put a video out being like, that's the end. That's the end of the story. It makes me sad to know that it could potentially be in January. I mean, I could die before January too. So let's make that clear. Maybe that's the easy way out, guys. I figured it out. No, that's not even, I shouldn't even be joking about that. That's not the answer, guys. You know where I was going with that. Just start saying every single swear word to be an adult channel. You're going to find that. You're going to see these channels that they stop censoring words. They start doing things that are a little more adult, I suppose. But I feel confident in this. The last couple days, and this is the positive part of this. Maybe I've been relying on this toy stuff and the kids stuff too much. Like I love making the content because it's stuff we'd be doing anyway. And it does really well, of course, because kids are watching it. I didn't say that, YouTube. But I feel like the channel, Greg's World, and maybe even Brickitect to some extent, has become mostly Clark's World and Clarkitect. And I want to bring it back to me. Not that I'm like, it's not a part of my ego or anything, but that's initially what the goal was. And in the last couple of days, I've come up with a lot of what I think are really cool ideas for series on the channel that I could do that are completely new. And I hope people want to watch. I hope that you're watching because of more than just the fact that we're doing Lego sets and the fact that we're doing Thomas toys or whatever it is. And I've come up with these ideas and I'm just like flooded with like hope and encouragement for the future. So don't take this all as negative. I think people will pivot. People will find ways. I think pivot is the best word you can use here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it alive. I know Greg's World can survive this. I may not be doing as well as I am now, but I don't think we're going to be homeless. And if we are, Homeless Greg's YouTube channel is coming soon. You guys can watch me out on the street. But Brickitect, I do worry about. The fact that they said the word toys in there really concerns me. And this channel, again, I've been working on for a very long time, and it's like my whole history here is here. We have all this stuff. Sorry, I'm still working out a cold. We have all this stuff that we've built up towards, and I'd hate to see it all come crashing down in the next few months. Life finds a way, says Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Yes. Legit Brick says, say a few swear words in one video. I mean, that doesn't work because it's a video by video basis. Jim Blade says, if I have to drop a swear word or two, he'll do it. Brickitectlive knows what I'm talking about. Is Brickitectlive here? If anybody's here that was watching this like after the fact and you're just here to know about YouTube changes, like I'm the type of guy that searches for, it's your time to go. Now it's just me and my peeps. We're going to be hanging out here for a bit. Let's talk about it. What about your podcast? Yeah, there you go. There's an option. In fact, maybe I could advertise in my podcast. If you guys love Missing Pieces, logo here. Missing Pieces actually coming soon. You would love audible.com. Sign up for audible.com where you can listen to all kinds of amazing audiobooks. Use code Missing Pieces. There, my intro is recorded. My ad's recorded. So maybe I'll become a podcaster. You guys know, I'm sure many of you know H3H3 Productions. Their demonetized videos weren't doing well at all, so they went into the podcasting space, and I think they're doing better now than ever. How much for an iPod? This one doesn't hold a charge. It holds a charge for like a minute or two. This one actually works. I might sell this one along with the home thing. I've had people ask about it. I don't know whether I should give it away. Maybe I can't give it away now. I need the money to feed my family next year, guys. I'm sorry. Does anyone want an iPod for $100? I'm kidding, of course. If you can't make jokes out of this stuff, what can you do, guys? Is podcast an app? It's going to be available on iTunes and Spotify. I believe that it's available on Spotify right now. If you guys want to go search for Missing Pieces, I did find out there are other Missing Pieces podcasts, but let me see if it's on iTunes yet. I believe that takes a little bit of time. I put my first episode up there, which is episode 0, and that is the. Let me just check here. Bear with me here, guys. Episode 0 is just my intro to it, so I wanted to have that up, so I at least had something in there. But it's on Spotify. Let me take a gander. Oh, I have 6 playbacks. Oh my goodness, some people are actually watching it. It's still only available on 2 platforms. It's available on Anchor, and it's available on Spotify. Let me drop the link, so if you guys are Spotify detectors, you guys can go do that there. I got to promote the things that make me money, guys. Thank you for the 6 people that have listened to my podcast. First episode's going to be a banger. It's going to be the history of Brickitect, the origin story. I think you guys are going to enjoy that one. Ninjago month is still happening. I do have to admit my win kind of got taken out of my sales a little bit this week, but it came back later in the week, and I'm super happy now. BFAB says he's not worried yet. He's going to play it by ear. The goal is one day become a full-time YouTuber. That's the thing. I'm trying not to get too worked up. Obviously, this is consuming me. I'm the type of person that really dwells on things a lot, whether good or bad. Like my mind is just like this thing that does this constant repetition thing, which is why I've come up with an idea book. But there's no reason to get too worked up about something that may never happen. If it comes down to just simply you classifying your content as for adults or kids, my content is 100% for adults. That's why I told you 13-year-olds to get out of here. I don't want any of you watching my stuff anymore. I'm sick of kids commenting and leaving nice comments and liking my videos. Angry about it. Especially these 10-year-olds that send me mail and they have all these cute little drawings and stuff and they love my channel. No more. You're not invited anymore. Oh, we got our first donation. Brickitect says, I'm here, Greg. Thank you, Brickitect. I'm going to put that $5 into the pot for next year. That'll buy me 5 cans of soup. We're good. We're okay, guys. We'll get through this. I think I've said this before. I think one of the most powerful things you can have on this platform or anywhere, I think one of the most powerful things you can have is a bunch of people that care about you. Have an online audience of people that care about you that you may have never met, but through your videos, all the kids content that you create, all these videos that are intended for little kids that you're selling the bike at the end of it, if they like you enough to follow you somewhere else or to support you on Patreon or to send you a 99-cent donation from Stacked Studios, what more could you ask for, right? How many do you need 100,000 people to follow you? No. What if I had 100 people that paid $5 per month if it came down to it to continue making Lego videos? $500 a month, that's more than worth it for me to make Lego stuff. I couldn't buy much with that, but we could still crank out the content and it would be justifiable, right? Like that's enough to pay for a lot of expenses that you incur in the month. So for me, totally down. BFAB with the $5 donation. I appreciate that, BFAB. Me and him had a conversation yesterday, and I got a little carried away, and I apologize for that. So that was my bad, dude. He's a good man. AMW says, this is AWM, as he's known in some circles. He was going to quit YouTube. I told him not to. As someone who has serious OCD, it's worthless to get worked up over something stupid or hasn't happened yet. I wasted so much time worrying and being frustrated for nothing. That comment resonates with me more than anything that has come out of this conversation. In fact, that should honestly be the description to this video. It's worthless to get worked up over something stupid. Well, may not be stupid, but it hasn't happened yet. But it's so easy to, right? I think there's a quote that's, I've worried about a lot of stuff in my life. Some of those things actually happened. That's a good quote. I've worried about a lot of stuff in my life. Some of those things have actually happened. What about all the other stuff that you had sleepless nights over? The fact that you thought you were going to lose the thing you love the most in life. Like, this isn't just a job to me, dude. This is my number one passion. This is the thing that I get up for. I mean, you got your family and stuff, of course, but like professionally, I don't want to do anything other than what I do right now because I just love it so much. And it makes me sad that I may even have to change my content because I don't want to. I'm making exactly what I want to make. I'm not making videos because of kids. I don't go to freaking Thomas Land because I shouldn't have said freaking. I should have used the real word there. I don't go to Thomas Land or Thomastown because I think it's going to be a good video. I go there because I want to share that experience with my son. I had probably just as much fun there as he did. And it makes me sad that like that may not be a possibility for me anymore. But I mean, I've been lucky. I've been able to do this 2.5 years. and it's treated me very well. We'll see what comes of it. Dr. McBrick, $9.99 donation. Thank you so much, Dr. McBrick. Another classy guy in the Lego space, and yeah, I'm sure he can relate to what I'm going through here too. A grown adult making videos about something that you love to do that could or could not be made for kids. We'll let Skynet figure that out here in 4 months. Let's keep the conversation going here, guys. We'll keep this rolling for a bit. I see a lot of you guys are interested in having a conversation here. I blabbed on enough, but if you guys want to keep it going, we can. Yeah. Mark says, remember when the world ended in 2000 with the millennium bug? It's all going to be well in the end. It will be. We'll make it through. You'll be watching a lot of... maybe I'll make a new channel just called Greg's Super Adult Life. I'll be like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm paying bills. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're making dinner. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm paying my taxes. Hey guys, welcome back. Today, what else do adults do other than pay bills and pay taxes? I think that's pretty much it. What if I just shroud Clark in a cloak of mystery? I'll have him wear just this bag that has a big question mark on it, and I'll be like, he's an adult under there. I don't know. Yeah, this is Greg going to the bar. See, my biggest weakness is that all I love to do is the stuff that kids love to do. I like playing with Lego sets. I like driving RC trucks. I like building Thomas trains. I like playing with toys. Yesterday we did stomp rockets. I had a blast. Why don't I like the things that adults like? Why can't I be out there doing like adult things? I don't know. This is just what I love to do, and I hope I can continue making some type of living at it. Oh, Shy Time. Thank you so much. He says, let's keep pushing, or just keep pushing. Yeah, that's what it comes down to, guys. I appreciate the donations, though. Maybe we could save those for next year when things are tough. I'll make a live stream. I'll do a weekly live stream called Greg's e-begging live stream. It'll be like, all right, guys, I made 17 cents on YouTube this week. Anybody out there? I don't know, but like I said, maybe the Patreon thing will become a thing. I don't know. I don't push the Patreon thing. It's just kind of sitting there. I have Patreons or patrons, but it just kind of sits there. I do know of a guy that I watch, and I really like his content. His name's David DeFranco, and he essentially makes an entire living off of Patreon. He does exclusive weekend vlogs that are like an hour long. To get out the fake tears, says Mahan. Yeah. I really didn't know. I will never resort to that. But he does like these weekend vlogs that are exclusive to patrons, and he's been doing them for years, and people have seemed to really support him. I think he makes like, I want to say like $2,000 a month, something like that, at $5 per person. It's like half of a Netflix membership because people are invested in him. And I guess that's what my goal is that when it comes down to it, if I do need to ask for support, I'm hoping that people are invested in me. And if they're not, and if they're just watching the casual Thomas video here and there, just the way it is, man. Will I have to resort to meme review? Possibly. Is that for kids? Lots of kids watch meme review. Uh-oh, Rick DeLott donating again. He says, you have to build up the reserves before winter. Yeah, I heard winter is coming, Rick DeLott. I learned that from you. He donated $20. Thank you so much, man. Again, I'm not here for the donations, but I do greatly appreciate that. I appreciate you guys, honestly, just sitting here, just to know that this many people that are most likely interested in seeing someone build a Lego set, watch a guy sit and ponder the future of YouTube, is kind of miraculous. And I want to thank you guys for that. So I think on that, maybe we'll wrap it up here. This has been almost 40 minutes. And I just really appreciate all the stuff that you guys have done for me over the years. Thank you for the support. I mean, whether it's just watching a video, if you never even interact with a video, just watching it helps. People leave comments. I greatly appreciate where comments are available. I mean, it's really cool, and I love looking at them every day. I read all the comments. I try to reply where I can. Just it's something that I won't take for granted, especially when it may be lost in 4 months. But just like we talked about earlier, I've worried about a lot of things. Some of them have actually happened. I hope I don't have to make that video where it's actually happened. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Make it the best one you can. And if you're going to start a YouTube channel, maybe don't do a toy channel or anything related to toys. And start your videos with a shotgun in the air, a beer in one hand, and an F word coming out of your mouth. We'll see you guys in the next live stream.